So what we're going to chat about now is the subscribers, and this can get complicated, but I'm going to make it simple. So what I recommend you do when you click on subscribers, you see this, but you'll usually see all subscribers first. This is a complete list of all the people who subscribe to your email. So what you can do is click, when you want to add subscribers, you can click add subscribers. If you have a CSV file or an Excel spreadsheet of your email list, you can add it here, and you can drag and drop it here. It's not foolproof and it's not always perfect, so I don't recommend this. I recommend adding your subscribers manually, and it is a schlep in the beginning, but you only have to do it once because this database exists on MailerLite, and if you find that you are adding subscribers regularly, you can always download your subscriber database from the system. So you can import a CSV or text file. I don't like doing that. It doesn't always work. It sometimes imports names as surnames and surnames as names. Email address is going to the wrong field. It can be a bit messy. I'm sure the system has improved recently, but I don't always trust it, and doing something manually eliminates machine error. So you can also copy paste from Excel. So if you have an Excel spreadsheet of email address, first name, last name, or a database with a lot more detail, including addresses and postcodes, etc., all you have to do is go into your Excel spreadsheet and copy paste, find the data in that spreadsheet and paste it into these fields: email, first name, last name. Then, and what you then do, what I always recommend, is add a single subscriber. So you can put the email and the name. I always suggest trying to fill in as many of these as possible. So email, name, in this case, first name, last name, the company, the country. Sometimes you don't have all of this data, and email, first name, surname will suffice. The reason I recommend separating name and last name, first name and surname, is if you include a tag in your email that says pick everybody's first name, and so your email content will say, hi Melissa, or hi Stuart, or hi first name here, right? You don't want it to say hi first name here, or F name as it's called. You want to be able to say hi to the person whose name it actually is. So you say hi Stuart or hi Melissa, and it does that automatically by pulling the first names from your subscriber database. So in that case, and you also don't want it to be hi Melissa de Klerk, or hi Stuart Wood, or hi Sarah van der Merwe. You don't want to have the first name and last name in the email, just the first name, because hi Melissa de Klerk looks fake. It looks computerized. It looks like it came from a computer, which is what we don't want. And it's one of the things that puts me off, and it immediately looks less professional because it shows you haven't bothered to worry about fixing your database properly. So I recommend separating email, name and last name. So in my case, it will be, right, Melissa Fox. Now I've filled in so many of these forms that it auto-populates this data. In your case, it probably won't. So in this case, you'll see it added my surname in. You can just go and delete that. Melissa, first name Melissa, last name declared, my company, country, city, etc., etc. So if you don't want to include all of this information, you can happily remove it, right? And you can have Melissa, my email address, my name, and my surname. And then you can add to a group, or you could just add a subscriber. And then subscriber added successfully. Excellent. And then if you go back to your subscribers list, it will show there. Import from MailChimp, I wouldn't worry about this because you probably haven't used MailChimp for your email marketing efforts up to now. That's from what I know from chatting to Stuart. So I wouldn't import from MailChimp because it's just going to import data from one email marketing platform to another. If you haven't used MailChimp before, obviously that won't work. So if I go now to back to subscribers, that's adding a single subscriber, adding subscribers in general, and I always recommend adding a single subscriber. So you'll see that I've added myself twice, my personal and my business email, just so that I can get subscribers on the list. What I recommend then is going to groups. Groups are being updated after subscriber import. Please wait. Great. So while that does its thing, what I would explain now is groups. So how to explain groups? What MailerLite understands is that you don't email everybody on your list with the same content. And I mentioned this in the previous video. You don't email everybody on your list with the same content. So for example, if you are doing a general newsletter, that you can happily send to everybody that's on your email list. And your general newsletter list will probably be your largest one. Then what I would recommend is to create a new group. If you email people, for example, retailers and the general public, for example, might not be your case, but I'm going to go with this example because it works quite well. So you can call your group retailers and then create it, and general public and create it, and it'll appear here. You see retailers, and then you'll see general public. Then when you have gone and added a subscriber, and when you start sending email campaigns, you'll see the number of subscribers that are on each list, and the percentage of people that have opened and the percentage of clicks that have happened. Meaning, if you have a button in an email, you'll see if people have clicked on that button or not. So it's quite useful to try and separate, usually by groups of people that you're emailing. If you're emailing, in this case, retailers and general public, you would send these two groups of people different information, and to try and tailor your content according to who you send it to, because that ensures a more personalized email experience for the recipient. If you decide that actually emailing retailers is pretty pointless, you can delete that. It won't delete subscribers. It doesn't delete members of your list at all unless you go to your subscriber list and manually delete them. Or if somebody has unsubscribed, that will also delete subscribers from your list. So if you decide that you don't want to email retailers anymore, you can hit delete. And I'm going to delete both of these, because what I would like you to do is fit the system to your own marketing efforts and your own email marketing plan. I'm giving you these examples to give you ideas, and you don't have to follow them. It's, your business and your marketing better than I do. So if your desire is to email two groups of people, you can happily do that. If two groups of people is all you'll ever need for the next 2 or 3 years, that's perfect. And you find maybe in 4 years, 5 years, you find that you need to email more and more people of a certain type are coming to you. If it's more general public, if you're selling directly to the public, then you can happily, or people of a specific industry, then you can happily add them as a group. So what I'm going to do is just delete this one. General newsletter group is, I suspect that if you need to send general newsletters, everybody in your list will be in this group. Segments work similarly, but as it says, they're dynamic lists of your customers based on their attributes and behavior. What this means in English is, for example, if you email somebody about, or if you email a group of people about a special, and only half and you've got like a learn more button or a shop, learn more or find out more about the special. If you've got a button in your email and only a certain percentage of your email list clicks on it, they can then be added to a segment. So if people clicked on a button but then ended up not buying that specific special, you can then email them at a later date this particular segment, because you now know that they are a warmer audience. They're more likely to purchase your product or buy into your special at a later stage, because they have shown interest by clicking on a button in a previous email. Segments are different to groups. Segments can change and be dynamic, and groups are relatively static. So if you've got a member in your retailer group and your general public group, they can, Sally from your retailers and Joe from your general public can both be in a segment while still remaining separated in their groups. Because if you emailed both retail and public about the same special, but at a specific discounted rate for retailers or wholesalers, then by clicking on a button in an email, they've both shown interest, that they're interested in the special that you are offering. They then both belong to the segment. It will be easier to see once you've actually played with the software a little bit and you have campaigns in action and you have buttons in action. But the principle of a segment is it allows you to retarget people, if that makes sense. Allows you to market to people who have already shown interest in what you are selling. And then fields, from what I understand, basically, this is what remember I was talking about first name and last name, etc. They're called merge tags, and these are all obviously the fields that you fill in when you add a subscriber. So as soon as you want to, in a campaign, go, hi Melissa, you type hi and that, bracket, dollar, name, bracket. You type that. Then when you send it, it will appear as hi Melissa. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to copy this text, and I'm going to go back to campaigns. And then I just want to edit this one. I want to send a test email, or show a preview next. I just want to change the content. So we go hi, paste. It'll go hi name and welcome to our newsletter. So you go save. It will look like that in the preview, and then the person's name will appear in the actual email. So we go done editing. I don't think it will show it in the preview. It will show it as just the merge tag. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. So I want to preview it. And it will show you, see, hi, there's a gap, i.e. on the preview, it won't show the name. When you say send a test email, it will show, I'm assuming, the merge tag. And then when you send the actual email, it will show you the person's name, or it will include the person's name in the email. So I'm just going back to subscribers quickly. And fields, so this is only useful basically for the name. And if you are writing an email, then include someone's company or country or city, then it's valuable. But the most valuable part of this to me is the name merge tag, because it helps to increase an email's level of connection to the receiver. So your stats are statistics, obviously, and it'll show you the average open rate per campaign, average click rate, average subscriber rate, and these are the average rate that you are increasing in subscribers per month, and then the unsubscribe rate per month as well. And as soon as you have more data, and you've been using this for a little while, it'll show you your subscriber engagement. So, the percentage of people who never read your emails, the percentage of people who sometimes read your emails, and the percentage of people who often read your emails. It also then shows you the top domains that your subscribers come from. So how many, the domain that you're sending emails to. So in this case now, because we only have 2 subscribers, one was to a Gmail and one was to Foxnell Media, which was my domain. And then when you have more data in this database, it will show you the top email clients, meaning your Outlook, Gmail, etc. And the reading environment is basically if people are reading the email on their phone, on their tablet, or on their desktop. Quite useful in the case of if you find out that people are reading emails on their phones and on their tablet, obviously that's a smaller screen. So you might not want to include as many photographs or as many big images that people have to scroll past, because when people are reading emails on their phone and tablet, they just want to read text, ideally. But if you find that most people are reading on a desktop, you have a little bit more space to include images in your content. This data and the statistics become more useful as you send more campaigns. And you can also look at it overall, get an overall of your all of your subscriber, all the stats from all your subscribers, or you can look at a group and you choose your group. When you have more groups, obviously this list will be longer. So general newsletter, and the stats will refresh. Obviously everything at the moment will be 0 because there's very little data. So you can get an overview from all your subscribers, the data from everybody, and then as well as groups, which is why it is quite useful to have groups in your email marketing plan. So that is an overview of the subscribers and the tools that you can use to view their data. In the next email, I'm going to talk about automation. Or in the next video, I'm going to talk about automation.